Well, that's great. I mean, Sonny's a really good pitcher. I mean, I think that getting him on a 3-year deal is a good thing. I think front offices and people are a little hesitant, with starting pitchers, especially. How old is he? 33?
34.
Or so? 34? Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good deal. And I think we've talked about that. I wonder what the Japanese kids market looks like. I mean, I still would love to see him make a run at that kid. But yeah, I mean, Sonny Gray, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson. I definitely think you feel like those guys all give you a chance to win. I'm just still a little concerned about, games 1 and 2 in a playoff series. I think I definitely think it definitely gives them a very great chance of winning the division. I mean, I think that these 3 pitchers, in addition to the offensive players, and then I'm still kind of waiting, as I'm sure everyone is, for a couple bullpen additions to shore up the back end. But it's exciting. I mean, I think that Sonny. I played with Sonny in New York. He's a great guy, really good clubhouse guy. He'll fit well amongst the group that they have, and he's very competitive, and I think that the Cardinal fans will really like to watch him pitch.
So I don't know who posed the question to the dais earlier in the show, but I think it was a legitimate question. Is the Cardinal rotation, as it's situated now, not sure if they're going to do anything else with the rotation, is it better than the rotation they had in place going into last season?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think there's more certainty. I mean, I think last year you had to dream on Jack Flaherty sort of recapturing the magic of a few years previously. And then, Steven Matz had come off of a bit of a rough season. So I think it is. I mean, I'd have to kind of look at it again. I'm thinking about last year, what going into the season. There was with Waino's health and age, I think there was more question marks going into last year than this year. I think Lance Lynn has proven to be durable. Did he give up a lot of home runs last year? Of course he did. He did, and I think he would tell you that's something that he's got to look to rectify. But Kyle Gibson had a good season with the Orioles and pitching and giving you a chance to win in the back end of a rotation. I think Lance Lynn will have a better season than he had last year. I think 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, he was top 5 in the Cy Young. So I think that it is in a better situation. I mean, Sonny Gray had a really, really good season last year. I think he finished 3rd in Cy Young. So I think they're in a better situation now, especially, you look at the Brewers. I think one of the they're looking at possibly trading, and one of their best pitchers is got non-tendered because he's got a shoulder surgery. So I don't know what the Cubs are going to do, what they are able to pull together, but I'd say as of now, the Cardinals sit in a pretty good spot in the division.
So Sonny Gray, 11 years in the bigs. I feel like from a national profile, I never hear from this guy, so I don't know very much about him. And you said you were teammates with him. Can you expand on that a little bit? And any stories, just more about who he is as a guy?
He didn't pitch great in New York, and I think that was hard on him. I think that I think he comes from a little bit more of a small town country kind of background, and I think being thrown into the big city of New York, he got off to a little bit of a rough start and didn't pitch well, but bounced back. My brother coached him at Vanderbilt. He's very competitive. He's kind of a blue collar, like you said, doesn't seek out attention or media or endorsements. I think he just likes to pitch. He likes to play ball. He likes to compete. He likes to hang with his teammates. So I think he's low maintenance. He's a low maintenance, get after it. I think, when you talk about some of his pitches, I think he's picked up on this sweeper deal a little bit more and turning his curveball slider into more of this sort of hybrid pitch that everybody is talking about and throwing these days. So I think that was a really good pitch for him last year. And I think the Cardinal fan base is really going to like him. I mean, I liked him. I got along really well with him, and everyone did really. I think outside of the struggles he had in New York, he handled it really well inside the clubhouse, and very likable guy. Very down to, like I said, very down to earth. Very into his family, and just getting after it.
Forget Sonny Gray. Give me a good Lance Lynn story. That's what I want to hear.
Well, I mean, everyone knows some good Lance Lynn stories. So
give us one behind the scenes that we can welcome him with.
I've talked to, we have the same financial advisor, and Don and I are real close, our financial advisor, and he said that Lance was working really hard this winter to lose some weight, and felt like he had gotten a little, he wanted to pitch a little lighter this year, and is doing really, really well, and is having a good off season. But as you know, Lance is a tremendous character. He's very intense, but away from the field likes to have a good time, and has a good sense of humor, and likes to have fun with the guys, and so I think they've really added. And Kyle Gibson is a salt of the earth human. He's a lot like Waino in the way he interacts with teammates, and the way he handles his business, and so replacing Adam is basically impossible as far as his presence in the clubhouse and the kind of human he is. But Kyle Gibson is right there with him. So adding Kyle Gibson and Lance, I think, are going to be really good for the clubhouse. But Lance, you have as many stories probably, Jim, as I do. He's obviously likes to mess with you, and likes to have a good time. I'm sure he'll be real easy on you.
Mm-hmm. No, he already told me in a text that he's coming after me this year like never before. So, I mean, you're the guy that almost choked me out. You choked me out on live television.
Oh, that was a hug. I mean, come on.
Nice, strong hug. Does your financial guy beat the market every year?
Yeah, he does pretty well, and then he likes to help us find good causes to give away to. So he's great.
Love it. So how about now? John Mozeliak said they're going to get 3 pitchers, and here's 3. But I think a lot of people thought one would come via trade. So you never know. Maybe there's something still to be done. And I also think most folks thought that part of that trade would be whether it's Carlson or O'Neill. There seems to be a lot of outfielders, Burleson. Maybe they could package 1 or 2 of those guys for, I guess now it can still be a reliever. But kind of your thoughts on the outfield glut and the roster and what they should still do to kind of make it easier on Ollie to make some of these decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that the bullpen to me is the sort of the glaring spot of where the improvement needs to happen. When you watch the playoffs and you watch these teams that are making deep runs in the playoffs, when you get to the lead, when you have the lead in the 6th inning, you feel really good about it, and you feel you bring in the 7th, 8th, and 9th guys that have strikeout stuff. They have the ability to pitch out of jams because they can strike people out. I think that's been the last couple of years has kind of been the little bit of the bugaboo of taking leads late in the game and then giving them up. That it really I don't think people maybe give as much credit as they should about the carryover of blowing a lead late in the game when you play 7 or 8 innings and you've got a lead, and then you can't hold it, and then the carryover to the next day, and just the environment and just sort of what happens to a team when a couple days in a row you lose close games that you had won. So I think that you look at that outfield depth and you talk about how to maybe like make roles a little more obvious. Is you could potentially trade those guys for relief pitchers, or try to package a deal to get a good reliever, and I'm not sure what they're going to do, but that's where I would probably start if I was going to trade an outfielder. I still think that there's question marks about Tyler O'Neill's health, and whether Dylan Carlson is ever going to kind of turn the corner with his power. I think you feel, obviously really good about Jordan Walker and Lars Nootbaar. If if they stay healthy, if they're healthy, you feel good about them being in the lineup every day. But, those other guys I think are interesting. But, it's always interesting to know how much trade value they have and what other people are offering for them.
Well, Matty, appreciate it, man. We appreciate you coming on. I'm glad that you had a lovely Thanksgiving, and we'll talk next week, buddy.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. See you guys.
See you, buddy. Matty Holliday.
He's awesome.
We'll call you earlier.
Yeah, I know. That's my fault. I
Yeah,
blame
you
it on.
tried it,
Oh,
but
good.
what did
I
you
blame
do?
it on. I blamed it on you, but then I realized it was my fault, and then I'm like, "You're right, Cam. It is your fault." And then
We all make
now
mistakes.
we're chilling. You know what I mean? We got we asked him some questions. It's all good.
I said Dak would be good.
Yeah.
All right.
You
I
know,
admit it. I
that's
made
right.
a mistake.
What if he still is, though?
I didn't say he'll never be good. I thought he'd be good last year.
What if Dak is better than – what if Dak's season is better than 3 of the Cardinals starters? Is that the craziest thing to say?
No.
No.
I know a lot of people like to say, well, the one good year Dak had was all luck because you look at the analytics that go along. Look, this guy, I don't know, he stopped throwing strikes. I don't think he was aggressive enough. Obviously, the league changed with the defensive shifts, so he had to pitch through. He wasn't good last year, but I don't think it means he can never be good again.
And I know we're just focused on ERA. Was his ERA – was it better than Lance Lynn's?
Probably. I mean,
Was it like 4.8? Or am I way off on that? I can't even remember.
What was Sonny Gray's last year?
I was like,
3, 4,
Ain't bad.
his ERA with the Twins overall, isn't it like 2.9?
something like that.
Yeah, it was sub 3.
Sub three.
2.79 for Sonny
bad.
Gray.
Hudson was 4.98 in 18 games last year. I will say what I liked about Holiday right there, he talked about, I know this gets maybe poo-pooed or whatever, but clubhouse guy. That's a guy who spent a long time in Major League clubhouses acknowledging the importance of clubhouse.
Oh, I agree.
I get that.
And I also think Lance, like there's a little nastiness with Lance. I don't mean that in the worst form of that. You know what I mean? But there's something that Lance has that I
Accountability.
think that rotation lacks.
Edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
edge. Edge is better. Thank you, Charlie.
There was
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of whining in that clubhouse last year. And if you give up 44 bombs, I don't know how much, your vinegar really matters, but I think that his mindset could help out a few people.
I don't think you're going to hear Lance make excuses, but usually with a lot of losing comes a lot of excuses, and we saw both last year. I agree. Yeah,
And he said after you allow 30 homers, it doesn't matter after that.
Yeah.
So 44 is fine.
that's fine.
Yep. Well, dang, Nate, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Good
Hey,
to be
you were
back with you
great.
boys. Yeah,
You were
Yeah,
thank
dude.
you all.
Good to see you,
Seriously.
buddy.
Yeah,
Good to
good
see
to
you.
see you. You did Cole a solid. He's
Happy
probably
to do
still
it.
sleeping right now.
Got those podcasts up quick. I'll tell you
Really
what.
quick, and everybody noticed it.
Yeah.
They noticed it.